Coming up with a new edition of the Little Rickard Show, we're going to talk a little NBA free agency, a little bit of the Phillies, and we're going to talk a little Eagles as some news came down this week. Also, some updates too from throughout the week. So, without further ado, your host, Little Rickard. Good evening, sports fans. This is Little Rickard, and welcome to another edition of the Little Rickard Show. We got tons to go over, some updates throughout this past week and stuff. But we're going to talk some NBA free agency, what's going on there, Phillies, and we'll talk some Eagles as it made news this week. So, without further ado, just today, I guess you all know Djokovic beat Roger Federer today for the Wimbledon title. I caught the end of it, especially the end of the fourth and the fifth, so that was pretty good. Djokovic won 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 5-7, 6-4. Federer was going for his 8th Wimbledon championship. Valiant effort. Got to put him among the favorite, him and Djokovic as well for the U.S. Open coming up over Labor Day. Yesterday, she beat Bouchard 6-3, 6-love to win the women's championship. Some other stuff. The Final Four for the World Cup is set. Brazil, Germany, Argentina, and Netherlands. And also, little Hershey Bears here. They hired their new head coach, Troy Mann. He was an assistant with Mark French up until this past season. And Brian Helmer, captain of the last Calder Cup team. He'll be an assistant coach with Troy Mann. Some baseball news. There was a big trade over the week on late Friday night. The Cubs, they traded Jeff Shamarja. Remember, all you fans remember him, wide receiver at Notre Dame, late 08, 09, 10, and 11. He also was a good pitcher, but he would have been a first or second round draft pick as a receiver, but he decided to go the baseball route. Cubs traded him and another starter, Jason Hamill, to the Oakland A's for 2 first-round picks from the last 2 years, from 2012 and 2013. Cash. And 2013 first-round pick, Billy McKinney. And just today, Yankees designated Alfonso Soriano for assignment, possibly ending his career. Just wasn't hitting for the Yankees. Saw a report today. He's going to mull over the next, probably this week, and decide, try to hook up with another team or retire. And the Yankees traded, I believe, a minor leaguer, Vidal Nuno, to the Diamondbacks for Brandon McCarthy and cash. Some NBA news quick. Sixers, they're mulling over possible trade for Houston point guard Jeremy Lin. Lin's pretty much on the trading block as Houston's trying to improve their team. Noel yesterday, pretty good debut. 19 points, 4 steals, 2 rebounds, a block, and 3 assists. Even though the Sixers lost in their summer league game, he didn't miss a foul shot either. I believe he was 7 for 7 from the foul line, 7 for 7, 8 for 8 from the foul line. So that's a good sign. And today, report on ESPN.com, the Lakers are a real threat for Carmelo Anthony to jump to go to the Lakers via free agency. So we're anxious to, you all know, I don't know if you heard, Knicks are willing to give him a max contract. Also today came out, Chris Bosh of the Heat, he wants a max deal, and I'm going to spend some time right here on this. As you all know, LeBron, Bosh, and D. Wade were the big three back in 2010. LeBron jumped over. And Bosh wasn't a bad player, decent. He wasn't phenomenal. They won 2 titles, but they've been 4 straight and only won 2. And one of the reasons that the Miami Heat have only won 2 championships is they don't have a dominant big man. They had Udonis Haslem, but it wasn't enough. Bosh is 6'10". He'd been better suited to control the paint. But my beef is he's trying to be a Dirk Nowitzki type player who can shoot from the outside and all that. Bosh is not an outside threat. He needs to be in the paint. They don't have anybody in the paint. They had Ray Allen shooting threes. LeBron shoots threes. Chalmers shoots threes. They got plenty of outside shooters on that team. Bosh does not need to be a three-point shooter. He does not have the skills that Dirk Nowitzki has. Therefore, they wasted trying to get Greg Oden to play the post, and he only played a couple games. It didn't even play in the playoffs. So to me, I said it on a post on one of the pages that I have, and I said, if I'm Pat Riley, it's either this: you take less money, or you hit the road and go to another team, because they need a post threat. They don't have a post player, and they also need a point guard. But their main issue, they need somebody in the paint to rebound and get points in the paint that way. That way it would make it easier for LeBron to penetrate, drive, kick to Chalmers or D. Wade or anybody else, and make that outside game easy. And that's what the Spurs did. They controlled the paint, kicked it out to the open man, hit outside shots. They passed the ball around. That's how basketball is supposed to be played, in my opinion. Inside, outside. If you can control the paint, it'll make it that much easier for penetration, driving kicks, open looks from the outside. It sets everything up. So that's my take on that. Some NFL. Josh Gordon from the Browns, who had that big year last year. He was trying to overturn a suspension from last year for the PED use. He got in trouble again, DWI. So he's looking at maybe missing more than 1 year. He could be possibly done. Just not a smart move on his part. Browns are going to be hurting. It don't matter. Johnny Manziel, whoever the quarterback is, they're going to have some trouble because there's no receivers on that team. And also, Eagles made the news this week. Not in a good way. First round pick from 2013, Lane Johnson, suspended for the first 4 games for PED use. Not good. The right side of the line is kind of thin. Just not a smart move. He hasn't made a statement yet. But I don't see it to be a problem when I start doing the previews here in the next couple weeks. My opinion, it's a big. It's big. but I think Eagles can overcome it. But just not a smart move on his part. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk some Phillies, and it ain't good. It ain't good. They got swept in Pittsburgh today. It hasn't been good this week either. The Marlins took care of them. Now they go to Milwaukee and Washington this week. We'll let you know. Also, let you know too if a Philly made the All-Star team. I will say one will be a starter, and that's it. I'll let you know who that is. And another Philly team made the news too this week. It's pretty funny, but it wasn't a smart move when you're the captain of the team. We'll let you know all about that when we come back. This is the Lowell Record Show and the Lowell Record Network. We'll be right back.